Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to try and remain calm while talking about the virus. London and surrounding areas have just been put into, well, I say just, a few hours ago, quite a while ago, were put into tier 4, meaning Christmas is cancelled. Now, if we go back to like March, we all knew, really, that this was bad. We had a national lockdown. Okay, that's alright. We had one national lockdown. We came out of it, and the government thought, okay, let's just try and rush everyone back to work and save the economy. From money's perspective, it was a good idea to try and get everyone back to work, country make money, we recover. From a humane point of view, it is one of the dumbest things I think I've ever heard. And it was always going to lead to a second lockdown, which happened. Second lockdown, but it was different. No one really listened, which is the problem. No one listens anymore because the government don't know what they're doing. It is like a bunch of 10-year-olds running this country now. Mind-blowing levels of stupidity. Like, you can go to school where there are thousands of people. The school I went to had 1,000 people. Assemblies. You can have 30 people in a class, side by side, but you're not allowed to mix. Make that make sense to me. How? How does that make sense that you can go to a place of education? Okay, kids have to learn stuff, they have to go to school. But during the first lockdown it was all done over Zoom. So can't that be done again? Which is why I think the cases are rising again. Well, they've gone through the roof. The numbers are now stupid. Every day 500 people die. And that's just within 28 days of testing positive. What about the people that 29 plus days? Is that a thing? We don't see that. And now London surrounding areas have to, well, I say have to, we have to miss out on Christmas. Which, for a lot of people, like, they live alone, so now they can't see friends and family. They were on the edge, and now they're going to be pushed over the edge. Just mind-blowing, actually mind-blowing how these people are paid millions to come up with these decisions, but regular people on the street could run this country better. And then when you try and get this stuff out, and you try and talk about it, you get suspended on Twitter. Today, I mentioned the word COVID once. The second I pressed the tweet button, suspended. So you're not allowed to say the word COVID. YouTube videos. You mentioned the word coronavirus. Your video isn't pushed as much by YouTube, from what I understand. These are big companies that don't want you talking about a major incident that is going to be talked about in history lessons, that is going to be taught to future generations, and is also going to teach us how to deal with a pandemic if there is another one. It is mental that a country or a group of countries like the United Kingdom takes over a year to get over this. This should not have taken this long to... Well, we're not even still over it. This is going to last a lot longer than a year, which is sad. Because depression has gone through the roof. People are thinking, I can't see anyone, can't do anything with anyone. It's not worth it anymore. People are literally dying of it. And all this government seems to think is, how can we get off of our feet from a economical, how can we economically grow, instead of how do we save people's lives. Millions, if not billions of pounds was put into track and trace. Didn't work. And they kept saying, oh, it's because it's getting overwhelmed. You knew this was going to happen. You knew that this was going to happen, and we haven't heard of track and trace in about 2 months. So you spent £8 billion. £8 billion. That is more than some countries are worth. We have spent more than the entirety of a country on an app that does not work. We have handed contracts to Tory MPs that before they were given this contract, they were bankrupt. They were filing for bankruptcy, and now that person is worth £9 million. Explain it to me. Somebody explain that to me. Because it is getting stupid. We are supposed to be a top nation, and yet we cannot eradicate a virus. And then you get onto the subject of the people. As British people, we are incredibly stubborn. So you've got some people who say COVID isn't a thing and it's just a government ploy to trace people and track people. You're stupid. But that's some people. Then you've got some people that lock themselves indoors, abide by the rules. Nice. That is what you're supposed to be doing. And I apologise for the third type of people. The people that say, you know what? Screw this. I'm young enough. I have a good immune system, so if I get it, I'm going to survive. Yes, you might survive. High chance you might survive. That's like you're 23, you run marathons, you go swimming every day, you do all this. Yes, you might survive, but you might pass it on to your nan, who then dies. You might pass it on to someone else, a not so fit person, someone that actually has a problem, and then they die. You are then a murderer, in my eyes. I think from the very beginning we should have just locked down until there were no deaths. It would have taken a while, but it would have been a lot shorter than it is now. Every day there seems to be 500, 600 deaths. For an entire year, that is a lot of people that have unnecessarily now died. I am going to end the video now before I start launching stuff across the room and getting incredibly angry. If you want me talking on different subjects, comment them. I will then probably talk on them because nothing better to do now that I am in lockdown, and see what we can do. Thank you. Subscribe if you like the video, do what you want. Not I can go anywhere. Anyway, thank you, and bye.